Welcome, everybody, to the Two Takes podcast. I'm your host, David O'Han, joined by my co host, Nick. How are we doing today?
Doing pretty good. Better than the weather is outside, for sure. I'll say that. But just a great start to the week. So for spring break, I'm locking in the last
Last
minute
minute
assignments and thing. Also, I fucking hate March. The pollen season, and my allergies are cooked, and so hopefully that won't be a bother this whole podcast. Take it away, David.
It's fine. It's fine. A lot of people, I don't even know if anybody watches it. It's fine. But yeah, we got some great topics to talk about today. A lot better than the weather outside that's currently giving me a heart attack as I'm watching it.
Yeah.
What?
I already used that joke. I'm just giving you a hard time. Keep going.
All right. We got an asshole here. But you know what? Let's jump into NFL free agency because we want to be assholes. Let's talk about one team that everyone loves down south, the Atlanta Falcons, kind of. Not everybody.
Oh yeah.
Except for Saints fans.
No,
Really big news for the Falcons today.
But talking about
or turn the ball over. Tagovailoa was just picked up by the Falcons today. He's signed a 1-year deal, which is insane. I didn't know this. David told me this. I was, busy. I was at work and, was, bombarded with all of Adam Schefter's notifications today. And so obviously I missed the one that could be really important to me and in my future. Tua. That's crazy. Thoughts, David?
My thoughts on it. Personally, I thought y'all were going to sign Kyler Murray for a league minimum. I mean, Dolphins are going to get hit with $99 million in dead cap, which I believe is the highest for any team is taking on dead cap. So my thoughts is, well, you got Michael Penix, whose knees are like already shot with multiple surgeries, and now you have a guy that has a block of cheese for a head. So I think it was a horrible signing. I hate it. I absolutely don't love it. I get he can be accurate, but when he plays in the cold, he's awful. He can't stay healthy. You don't know when Penix is going to be back, and I don't know you have Drake London. Who's going to get the ball to Drake London? Everybody loves him. He's everyone's favorite. He's a great wide receiver, but you got to be able to get to the ball to him. And I just don't believe Tua will get it there. And maybe I'm proven wrong. Because right now, what? Your defensive end is in jail. You have no first-round pick, and you have Tua as a quarterback. Maybe the Falcons do well when no one thinks they're going to do well now. Like, because the past 2 years, everyone thought, oh, they'll make the playoffs, and they still haven't made the playoffs. I give the Falcons 7 wins.
That's fair. No, maybe it's just like the hype of Tua's name is, what got me. Thank you for just bringing the harsh reality back to me about how the Falcons just never win when it matters.
Are you excited about the signing?
I mean,
they got benched by
I should be
Quinn
excited about anything.
In the Falcons universe. Anything that doesn't result in this is the only thing that's exciting right now. So
and Jahan Dotson.
I mean,
there's a lot of unknown,
and that's scary. I mean, new coach,
Tua,
and
James Pierce. A lot of unknowns.
So that's why I'm just like choosing not to think about it too much until September hits. So
you can always become a Browns fan.
So
can't believe you just said that.
Just I'll shed some more. I'll think about it more, and I'll worry about it more. Let's see how we do in the draft. I mean, like I said, we don't have the first round, but
I mean, gotta get something good out of that, right?
So,
I'm gonna.
I think it's like very unexpected. I think that's why I'm so excited. Very unexpected that we got to it. So if he can just ease off of concussions and the brain damage, I think we're in a good spot. So
I don't think he. Yeah, you could say.
Right.
I don't know if he can control it. I mean, just the way he lands and the stuff he does.
Not even him. Like if it so happens that he, doesn't get these kind of injuries again. That's great for the program. Yeah.
I don't know if he'll be able to know his grandchildren's name with all the head injuries he's had. I don't know. I'm not. It's not. It's not a funny joke at all.
It's not.
No, but I guess breaking news: Steelers are signing Rico Dowell, and the Chiefs got Elahi Gilman.
Yeah. Well, Rico, I had him on fantasy. I think either last year or the year before.
Last year had a great year.
So it wasn't that year.
So
he would like come through for me in a couple, or maybe it was like couple.
Because it was a good it was a good amount of weeks he came.
He
Yeah,
got me some good points.
but then he
So,
slowed down.
So Rico and Bryce separated. So you said he goes on what? He's going where?
He's going to the Pittsburgh Steelers. That's so weird because they have Jalen Warren and Kenneth Gainwell. Maybe one of them. I gotta look.
And no Mike Tomlin.
No Mike Tomlin. No, it's Mike McCarthy. The other Mike coach that probably is overrated. I'm just gonna say it.
How do you feel Dallas to Pittsburgh, man?
Top two teams to actually win the Super Bowl are the Rams and the Seahawks all over again. So that'll be fun to see. I don't know. My right now contender to feel like I know they are giving up all their cornerbacks with Jalen Watson going to the Rams and Trent McDuffie. It's like you got a forklift and you unloaded both of those guys. The Kansas City Chiefs. That threw my draft board off. I know we have the draft coming up in, a month and a half that we were going to talk about. I thought Jeremiah Love was going to fall to them. Apparently, I don't think they think he is. So now the Chiefs are going to look in another direction, probably go cornerback. But how do you feel about that move? The Seahawks letting – I know they have Charbonnet back there, younger guy, but letting go Kenneth Walker.
Gosh, I mean, obviously, I won't ever pretend to understand like how these teams work because it's a business at the end of the day. I mean, it's all for football, but at the end of the day, it's a business, and so maybe there's money associated with it, and something that will benefit them in the coming days, or the coming months, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
But Seahawks, they should pray. They still got to. I mean, sucks that they lost, but
yeah, Chiefs. He had a bag. He got a 3-year, $43 million base value and a $28.7 fully guaranteed. Meaning, if you don't know what that means, $28 million he's guaranteed no matter what. But if he stays healthy and he plays well, he will get the $43 million. And Travis Kelce is coming back. So I'm excited about that team. I think they were last in rushes. They only had one runner go for over 20 yards. And I think Alpha Mahomes coming off an ACL injury, having him now really helps out. And I think they want to get back to a more 60-40 instead of, we have to throw the ball like they did last year, and eventually caught up to them.
Exactly. Became one-dimensional. And so, hopefully they can, like you said, utilize both, utilize the run game more. And so keep them, I don't know, because it's hard watch, especially if you're a Chiefs fan last year. So
towards the end of the year, yeah, it was just every ball kind of didn't go their way like it did the year before. And I don't know. I'm excited. This has been a really Monday is NFL free agency frenzy, and it's been just going and going and going and going.
Right.
Like, my phone definitely is on low battery for how much it's been going. But, do you want to jump into college basketball, Nick?
Let's do it.
All right. College basketball, let's talk about bubble teams, what we saw from this weekend. Alabama right now, bracketology is a 3rd seed, which is, shout out to us, putting Auburn almost in the coffin. But I think right now there's a big disagreement, and I'm going to take a hot take. Not even a hot take. I believe Auburn should be a tournament team, and a lot of people right now don't think so. I know the most losses for any team to make the tournament, which is Vanderbilt, and I believe Georgia in 2001 is with both 15 losses. Auburn does already have 15, so that means they pick up their 16th loss. They've had the second toughest strength of schedule, and right now they're currently ranked 38th in net rankings. To explain what net rankings are, they're the NCAA evaluation tool. It's a data-driven system used by the NCAA to rank college basketball teams, replacing the older RPI by evaluating game results, opponent quality, location, home, away, and neutral, and net efficiency to help the selection committee choose and seed teams for the March Madness tournament. So they don't really look at the AP poll. They look more at the net rankings of, okay, how was this loss? How was this win? How'd you do against this bad team, even if you won that game? And it rewards strong performances against good teams and on the road, and penalizing poor results against weak opponents. And they're separating 4 quads. Quad 1 is play teams that are ranked 1 through 30 at your home. Neutrals 1 through 50. Away is 1 through 75. You want to win every game at the end of the day. But a quad 1 win is not a bad loss at all. Honestly, can make your resume better. Quad 2 now is home is 31 through 75. Neutral is 51st through 100th. And away is 76 through 135. Those are the rankings of the teams of who you want to play. And you're going to have majority quad 2 wins, if not undefeated. But quad 1 is really the hard one. And then quad 3 and quad 4, you don't want to have a loss, basically. Quad 3 is pushing it. Quad 4, you're looking like you're going to be out. And I think teams that are in the bubble right now, Santa Clara, they right now are sitting at 42nd in the net. They're 1-5 in quad 1 games. Their only win is against St. Mary's. And St. Mary's is a good conference team. That's all they are to me. They haven't made it in the past 6 years out of the first weekend. I don't know why. That stupid logo always looks so good at picking the Sweet 16, and they never make it. And I always do. And last year I didn't pick them because I picked Vanderbilt, and they beat Vanderbilt, but then they lost to Alabama. That's their only win. And then they're 6-1 in quad 2 games, which is not bad at all. But then I look at it, 10-0 in quad 3. Okay, you did what you needed to do. But you're 7-1 in a quad 4 game, which is awful. You lost to Loyola Chicago at a neutral site, who is right now currently ranked 289th in the country, which is horrendous. I understand if they win, they win the conference. They're not going to have an at-large bid. They play St. Mary's tonight, I believe, which is the 2 seed. And they're probably not going to beat Gonzaga. But I just think being 1-5, and I know Auburn's not pretty. Auburn is currently 4-11, 4-12 in quad 1 games. But they beat a good St. John's team. They lost to Houston, who was number 1 at the time, at a neutral site by 1 in Birmingham earlier this year. They beat Arkansas at home by over 20 points. They got killed by Purdue and Arizona. Got killed by Michigan, but Michigan was on their murder run. They also beat Kentucky, who's a decent home win. It's not great, but it's not ugly. But they're also the only team right now to have beaten Florida at Florida. And it was by 9 points. And so I just think this Auburn team deserves it. I know they have a quad 3 loss in Ole Miss at home, and they're 3-2 in quad 2 games. But just looking at their strength of schedule and who they played Houston, Michigan, Arizona, Purdue, Arkansas, Florida, Alabama twice. You played Arkansas twice, and you played Vanderbilt. I mean, I can't remember the last time a toughest strength of schedule or the second toughest strength of schedule doesn't get into the tournament. And I think they just can outdo Santa Clara and have a resume booster, and they're higher in the net. But now the biggest one that people want to talk about, and you may disagree with them, is Miami of Ohio, who's 31-0. They don't have a single quad 1 win. They've not played a single quad 1 game. They played one quad 2 game, which to me, I feel is unacceptable. Like, seriously, you could have scheduled anybody. Alabama's willing to play anybody. They played KSU. They played Purdue. Purdue played Akron in that conference. And I understand, yes, 31-0. Are we doing the most deserving team, or are we doing the better team? Miami's not going to win a game in the tournament. If they win the conference, it's not even a question. But if they lose in the conference tournament, I believe Auburn has the resume, and I believe they are a better team that should get in over Miami. Miami ranks 55th in net rankings, which isn't great. And a lot of times that little cutoff border is around 50-ish for an at-large bid. They have 2 quad 1 wins, or 2 quad 2 wins, I believe, beating Wright State recently away, and they beat Akron by 3 at home. But then, and they're undefeated in quad 3 and quad 4. But there's so many close games. Toledo by 2. Buffalo by 2. They recently just played Western Michigan and won by 2. They barely beat Ohio. This team, yes, undefeated. Really cool. No one really does that. No one ever does it. I just don't believe if you go undefeated and you lose in your conference tournament and you haven't played a single quad 1 game, that's on you. And I just believe Auburn's a better team. And if really we should have a play-in tournament, like an emergency play-in game between Auburn and Miami of Ohio. I know Auburn just got their ass kicked by Alabama. And the only way I believe Auburn does not get in is if they lose to Mississippi State first round. Okay, take them out. They don't deserve to be in. But if they beat Mississippi State, you beat Tennessee, and you beat Vanderbilt, and they're in the semifinals, put them in. You have to put them in because that's a tough road. That's one of the toughest roads, I would think, in the SEC. Now, if they barely lose to Vanderbilt, I think that's where you can get iffy, but I believe they should be in if Miami, Ohio does not win their conference tournament. Nick, your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be really hard to punish a team that's undefeated. And I know your reasoning is that they haven't played anyone. Like you said, that whole quad 1 box is empty.
And that quad 2 box isn't pretty.
Yeah, also, yes, exactly. We can sit here and talk about, what ifs. We can look at close games that Miami has played. We can sit here and talk about what ifs all day. It's like, oh no, they had a close game with Toledo, or whatever. This is all this being said. That is true, and that would make you believe that they might get smashed by a really tougher opponent because we just don't have any evidence of them ever playing a tough opponent. You just got to get it like that. Even when you play a lot of craft teams, that's still a lot of wins. I mean, you got to give them their credit. Can they keep it close, keep it interesting, but still win? I don't know. Were they playing? Could they have possibly been playing down some of these cats right here? Maybe you don't know. I'm really playing devil's advocate here with Miami. Watched them play on Friday to beat Ohio. Felt pretty strongly about it too after to the student section. And so I'll agree with you on that point that they lose their conference tournament. Yeah, it might. Winning that conference tournament would help us out a whole lot because we don't have a lot of these strong wins on here. And going on to the fact that they win the conference tournament and Auburn performed poorly in the SEC tournament, I'm sorry, Auburn's out. And I think Miami's in. That's Auburn in the NIT. Miami, March Madness.
Yeah. No, I think you're 100% right. Right now, Auburn is one of the first 4 teams out. But I'm just saying, if they don't win and they don't get that automatic bid if you win at your conference tournament, and let's say Akron wins, they shouldn't win.
Yes, if Miami doesn't win, is what you're saying?
Yes, they shouldn't. They should flip with Auburn right now because they're projected to win their conference tournament.
I want to disagree with you. It's hard with the resume that they have. They wouldn't be able to get in. They need that. Miami really needs that win. I mean, because the resume isn't impressive. It's nice. It's nice to be undefeated. Yeah, it's nice to be undefeated, but they need that conference. They need that conference win. So,
all right. Now here's a question I just thought of: if they would have played Alabama and got beat by them, do you think it helps them though because they have that loss just against Bama?
How bad did they get beat?
Say it was a 15-point game, 10 to 15-point game at Bama, or 20. Let's just say 20-point game at Bama.
But maybe that would just affirm your argument that they just can't hang with anyone in the quad 1 sector.
That's a hard quad 1 game. That is true. So Yeah, that's hard to look.
And
That's hard to
sure,
think of.
That would be your only evidence of them playing tough competition, and the only evidence you have is them losing.
Yeah, I just think you got to schedule okay, let me give you a team, NC State. If you at least schedule them and you play them close, they're right now projected to be number 9 in the tournament. At least it shows, yeah, I think their just resume doesn't have enough support, enough background. I know a lot of people believe they deserve only one loss. But I think if you want the best team in, it's like that year with Florida State getting out of the college football playoffs. They didn't deserve. They deserved it. Excuse me. They weren't the best team.
Exactly.
When they lost their quarterback, you saw what happened when they played Georgia. And I know a lot of people sat out.
Exactly.
But they put Bama in, who did beat Georgia. I believe Georgia was a better team than Bama that year. I think there should have been emergency 16 playoffs.
We
but
already talked about this.
Yeah, we can. That's a whole nother segment. I'm gonna be a really dead horse, but no, I think it's the same way with that FSU not getting in because they weren't the best team.
This is a little bit more apparent because we have like 31 worthless games compared to FSU's maybe 12 maybe that they played 12 or 13.
Yeah.
So I think this is really apparent, unfortunately, for Miami, but let's see how Miami does in their conference tournament, and we'll circle back.
Yeah, and if they win the conference tournament, they get that automatic bid. That does not being a large bid, and we don't have to argue.
It's March Madness. Well, let's see how they do.
Yeah, a lot of things are going on. The 6 seed Furman won today to get in over the 1 seed in their little conference tournament. So it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun things to look at. But let's focus on kind of the complete opposite side of this. Let's talking about the number of teams that are definitely going to be in March Madness. It's about who I believe who should get the number 1 overall seed. I believe Florida right now should get the number 1 overall seed over UConn. Right now they do. UConn could say they had the better, not resume, but just a better win because they did beat Florida earlier in the year on a neutral site. And kind of like a Notre Dame versus Miami situation if you give it to UConn, because Miami beat Notre Dame in the college football playoff or college football opening game, and that's what flipped them to jump Notre Dame at the end for the college football playoff spot. But let's talk about this Florida team. Florida has the edge. They're 12-5 and quad 1 wins, which I believe UConn only has 7 quad 1 wins. And they have right now, they will play a quarterfinal game, a semifinal game, and a final game. They win all those. They have 3 more opportunities to get to 15 quad 1 wins. And that's tied for the highest. So you're telling me that the most hot team right now shouldn't get the 1 seed, and UConn only will have a chance to play for 1 more quad 1 game, which will probably be the end if they make it, because they've had some terrible losses. They have a quad 3 loss with Creighton, and with the terrible Creighton team at home, mind you, and they just lost to Marquette, which is not a good loss at the end of their season. They're also ranked 9th in net rankings, while Florida has looked like the much better team recently, going and is ranked 4th. And Florida, to me, has the best front court in all of college basketball. Thomas Howe and Alex Condon, these 2 bigs, lead them in scoring, and they're great on defensive rebounding, averaging a combined 14 rebounds, plus the big man, Ruben Chinyelu, with 12 rebounds of his own per game. And combine the 3 of these guys, that's 26 rebounds. And Ruben was also named first team defensive team All-SEC, second team All-SEC, and Defensive Player of the Year. And you're going to talk about their front court, which is no one really can hang with, maybe the big top teams, but I feel like no one's going to be able to beat them. And they had the Coach of the Year with Tom Golden and one of their guards, Xavier Lee, who came from a small school and is a 3-point shooter, who has looked a lot better as this team's gotten hot. I also think the SEC is a better conference overall than the Big East, and Florida's played tougher competition, only losing 1 game at home, which I'm shocked it was to Auburn, but Auburn had to play tough teams, so eventually they're going to get one. And I feel like they just kind of run the table with it. And then with KenPom stats, and I'm going to explain another thing. These are really deep basketball stats. KenPom is a highly popular predictive advanced analytics system for NCAA basketball based on efficiency, not just raw wins and losses. It rates teams' uses, adjusted efficiency margin, which calculates the points a team would outscore a theoretical average team 100 possessions, factoring in strength of schedule. Florida right now is ranked 8th in offensive efficiency. With 100, so that means basically they'd score this amount of points in 100 possessions. They currently are sitting at 126 points. I know, Roll Tide. We're sitting at 3rd with 129. They're ranked 6th in strength of schedule. And defensive efficiency, they're ranked 4th. So that's a top team. They only allow 91.2 points per game when a team has 100 possessions. And then let's look at UConn. UConn ranks 35th in strength of schedule. Yes, you had the win over Florida. They have other good wins. They're 28th in offense efficiency. And yes, UConn ranks 11th in defense. So their defense looks great. And they have the mastermind, Dan Hurley. But I believe Todd Golden can match Hurley there. And I think Florida's just a better team. And I think they will beat UConn. And I just believe the stats don't lie, that the Florida Gators are a much better team. Now, what you could say is UConn wins the Big East and Florida kind of stubs its toe and loses. I believe the little Miami Notre Dame game kicks in where the head-to-head win, you give Florida the 2 seed, UConn the 1 seed, if that happens. But they both win their conference tournaments. Give it to Florida. They deserve it. They're the better team here.
David, I don't think that's how that works there. I think this still head-to-head is a big deciding factor when it comes to seeding. And so, all those stats you mentioned, how Florida's just so good. They got their amazing coach, whatever his name is. I know his name. Head-to-head at the end of the day. UConn beat Florida. This has been done. It's just like how they were talking about during they came to Miami Notre Dame in football. Because we get all these hypotheticals, right?
But they're 7-2. Florida's 12-4 right now in quad 1, and UConn still has a quad 3 loss.
Basketball. At the end of the day, it's basketball. Anything can happen. I think Auburn, at a certain point, should have been a quad 3 loss.
I mean, just based on how they played on Saturday.
No, that's fair.
Is that fair? Yeah,
that is, but that's a different team. I understand.
Is it? Because I feel like Auburn should be at their strongest at this point in the season, and I was a bit disappointed on Saturday.
Why? You wanted a better game? You didn't like chanting DUI at the Hod Pettiford and chanting Nepo baby?
Hey, I freaking love Saturday's game because it just made us look really good. But if I'm looking at Auburn's point of view and the growth they should have at this point of the season, that's got to be very disappointing. I don't even want to feel for Auburn fans, but I gotta have some empathy. That's gotta be disappointing, right? And so,
Nepo baby.
You gotta tread lightly on that subject. But, or I don't have to, but I just don't want to talk about it. I think UConn, because of that, I think that what really benefits them here in this argument is the fact that they had beaten Florida. Now, we'll say, when you play a team twice, things do change. You prepare differently. And really good coaches always make sure that they don't attack both games the same way. UConn might have an edge on Florida. The team that well, that's not true. What the true saying is that the team that lost always has an edge on the winning team in the second try.
It's hard to beat somebody twice.
It is hard to beat somebody twice. Now, I will say, whatever happens in this next game, obviously, will affect. But right now, when we're talking about seeding, this second game hasn't happened yet. So, going back to my point, UConn beating Florida should get them seeded higher than Florida. Just because that head-to-head matters.
Does it really though? You play 31 games, 31 or more games, not like 12. So you would take the Huskies over Florida. Okay, what happens if UConn doesn't win their conference tournament? Florida does.
Okay. If UConn doesn't win their conference tournament, how far you say they get?
They lose in the championship.
They lose in the championship.
St.
Who do you
John's.
think?
St. John's.
St. John's.
I don't think Villanova can beat St. John's.
I think they would seed Florida higher
Mm-hmm.
at that point.
Yeah.
I think they would seed Florida higher because Florida won their conference tournament. You get rewarded for that. But if both do the same thing, what's the one thing you look at on the resume that definitely separates them two? Like all these stats that both teams has, that's against other opponents who aren't the two that we're comparing. You see what I'm saying?
So your biggest thing is the head-to-head win. Okay.
The head-to-head.
That's why it's always talked about. That's why it's always talked about in college football. That's why it's being talked about now.
I'm gonna still disagree with you on this one, but hey, you know what? Yeah, we can disagree. Well, I mean, Sunday we'll figure it out. Sunday we'll figure it out
We'll figure it out.
when the selection comes out, and we'll see if Auburn gets in. Which I don't think I even want them to get in. I'm just fighting for them. And we'll see who has the number 1 seed.
All right,
We'll see.
Yeah.
Aw, what did you say next to me? Yeah,
All right. So I guess last little prompt 2 today. Do you think it's weird to buy someone's jersey that's younger than you? I know that's been a hot topic recently.
I think because the popular answer is no, that I don't, and like I'm like, yeah, I think it's weird. But if you ask me like, why, Nick, why do you think it's weird? I would really just say because most people say like, hey, you shouldn't buy like a jersey from like a player that's younger than you. I think it's just kind of it should be the norm. Yeah, you shouldn't really question why. It's just like, hey,
like Brian Coleman. Yeah, how do you feel about that, Coleman Williams?
I think it's great that he's honoring both his mom and his dad with his last name. So hey, you do him.
Yeah.
Whatever I'm trying to say here. He should do him. Brian Williams, you do you.
There we go. There you go.
That took so long.
No, sometimes it's just like that. And he's a stepfather now. He's a daddy.
Hey, what's going on, man?
You know that?
I know this. Actually, I feel like I've heard
she was 27 years old, yeah. She's 27 years old and she has a kid.
Dude. Ryan. All right.
Well,
I feel like
what do you feel like?
I feel like it's so weird because like if I'm a grown ass man, like if I'm old, like let's say I'm pushing 45 or 50, that's my favorite that may be like, I don't know, because that's kind of weird.
Yeah.
I mean, for me, I feel like if they're the same, because I wouldn't buy a Cooper Flag jersey. I guess Anthony Edwards is the youngest I've gone, or Jalen Johnson will be. I don't know which of the two. I believe Jalen's younger. Shout out, one of the great Hawks right now. I know a lot of people love him for his play and his looks. But, yeah, I just think, it's kind of weird. The only time I think if I'm older and I buy someone that's younger is because my son wants to match with me. Or daughter. You never know. There's some girl NBA fans out there. Or if you don't want to have kids. Well, then if I don't have kids, I probably won't buy a jersey. But yeah.
David's still gonna buy it. Yeah, no. I think it should be the norm. If it's I think it's like the norm should be like, hey, you should probably think twice before you buy like a 17 or 18-year-old jersey.
Yeah, definitely a 17-year-old's jersey. It's a little weird.
That's very weird.
Yeah.
But
well,
that's how I feel about it.
That's your P's and Q's?
Yeah.
Well, I guess that kind of wraps up this episode. Remember, probably gonna get posted sometime this week. It's be Wednesday, getting ready to go on spring break, which we'll actually be together on spring break.
Yeah.
As crazy as that sounds,
Yeah, I'm gonna hate David when we come back, but
probably he's gonna get on my nerves.
not before he does. But yeah, no, it's gonna be great though. No,
It's gonna be great.
Super
We're-
excited.
Hawks game on Monday. We'll film next week for a big, long episode on tournaments and like what's our brackets.
Right.
And the Hawks were supposed to have Magic City Monday. Now they're not, so we can't have the Wings, which we're not going to dive into. I'm a little upset, but now ticket prices go down, so it's cheaper. But probably. But, everybody, shout out to you, Nick, coming out, always being a great co-host. Appreciate you for everything you do.
I appreciate it.
Love sports, greatest time of the year, March. And I'm just going to say to the person that inspires me the most, and his saying, Pat McAfee, be a friend, tell a friend something nice. It might change their life. Goodbye, everybody.